From your seats, I'd like to open up to questions. So please, people, step to the microphones.
Hi, my name is Jason. I'm with the Gemological Institute of America. And my brief question is, it seems like you have a pretty spectacular technology, and consumers out there seem to be driving a lot of markets. For example, Siri, there's been a lot of talk about that and how the consumer market is like, I got to try this. I got to have this. Is there a way to use a consumer interface to make it fun and interesting, and a way to show how the technology works in a very easy to understand way, like a Siri or something like that? Just a thought or a question. Is there a way to do that?
Yeah, that was the second part of the motivation to do these MVPs. And that's exactly what these minimal valuable products are.
Hi. My name is Ram Seshan. I'm a technology consultant. I have a quick observation and then some thoughts and suggestions for you. The observation is, looking at your name, it seems more, and listening to you, it seems more like you are all in one ink rather than AI ink. So it sounds, your model is like, we can do everything, right? That's the same.
Reed, what do you think?
Maybe you should. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Mary Beth McCabe. I'm with National University, and I liked your presentation. I'll be quick. I have two quick questions. One, and I'm not a lawyer, I'm wondering if you have any patents on this. And number two is, have you ever thought of a rev share for your model? And I was thinking maybe the IRS or something like that. So just kind of brainstorming here. Thank you.
No, it's a great question.
Well, to the patent thing, patent is always a very critical question, and we have a kind of a patent strategy. So we had some consultants on there, and so it's a combination of having some wall patterns, so they are outside the technology, and then some parts which are kind of a secret, and then some other parts which we have published. And so nobody else can do a patent because it's published a couple of years ago already by us. So the approach is to have a strategy on it. It's not a solution to have a single patent, because the single patent maybe even is a bad choice for you. And so you need to, I mean, my advice is, and that's what we had, is very good consulting on that. It costs a lot of money, but you know, you go into that and you find what is the best solution for you. There's not one solution. But yes, there are some patents, there are some public stuff, and then there's some trade secrets inside. So it's a combination of it.
My name is Steffi Althaus. I'm with the Next Gen Electronics, and I was wondering, you know, it seems to me that your technology would lend itself to getting government funding for certain projects and basically applying this this technology in those areas, be it the TSA application that was talked about, or health applications, or many others. Yeah. And that might just be the thing that gets you across the chasm and help you actually fund those little and not so little wins that Reed was talking about. Is that something you're considering or have done already?
Yeah, we are. In Germany, we just raised about 3.25 million euros on funding government grants on the live tech developments we are doing. And that was a kind of, I mean, it's not easy because, you know, that's about a pile of that much of paper you have to go for. But it was no question when we came up and we said, okay, that's the advantage. Immediately we get the okay, and the government said, yeah, here, 3 million, go.
Have you thought of, and maybe done so, you know, really create some innovative videos around some of the possible applications that don't necessarily just demonstrate what you've already done, but that leap off of that and go and show what could be done? Yes. And with the right people, yes, might just spark their imagination faster than having to, you know, trudge your way through all these wins. I mean, you're going to have to do something.
Sure, I think it's a great point. A video actually could be a minimum viable product in that sense.
So there's a YouTube channel we have where some of the stuff is up already. And you're right, I mean, my president always says, we have to sell you. You have too many ideas. And that's why you have to pay to come here, you know. So you know, yeah, you're right. I mean, you know, one part is once we get this 300 kilobyte to the people and they know how to treat it, it's all about consulting. So I think in a near time, it's more about how we teach people how to use it than how we teach how the commands and all the technique is going. And so the knowledge we have and the ideas and the vision we have, what we could do with, because we know that it's possible, that's a big part. But to get there and have somebody paying only for the idea, we have to show what we have and to prove that some things are done already. And then I think, on our list, that's kind of the second step, moving us into more consulting and creative side rather than talking about the technology.
How about hooking into your favorite sci-fi that pertains somehow? Have you thought of that?
To what?
Well, you know, there's all kinds of high-tech sci-fi.
Yes, yes.
That has been written. I just read Michael Crichton Prey.
Yes.
That's probably not the one you want to refer to, but you know. But I'm thinking there have been a lot of forward-looking authors that have painted, done a very good job of painting the vision of what could be possible. I wonder whether there might be hook in terms of explaining to the audience, you know, possible audience.
It all ends up like the Terminator. I mean,
well,
all right, thank you.
I terminate my comments now.
As long as we deliver the software, no problem.
I'm Dan Hendrickson from Libre Energy. I'm wondering if there are applications for battlefield robots, particularly for mine detection and disposal, and when you have to do a very large job and you would have a very few people to risk.
Well, there are some discussions in that field going on, and of course, as you may know, that's not a really easy discussion, and although I'm a Swiss, I'm not even getting access everywhere. But yes, we are kind of in these discussions, and there are some you know, going in direction of this intelligence, what is a target, and you know, and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I said it always comes back to Terminator.
Yeah.
I think a few moments ago you actually identified a very ultimate problem, and that is, how do you understand and explain a government contract? If you could turn that on that'd be great.
Okay. My
question to you is, could you describe how much your product costs and what's the size of your target customers?
That's an easy one. If you just buy the SDK off the shelf, it's 25 grand, and you get all those source codes about the MVPs. You get all the description, you get the training and everything, and then there is a little fee every year as a you know, update and guidance fee and so on. So that's easy. So it's not a big hurdle to come into the technology. On top of that, usually they need some additional assistance, like in projects. So what usually happens is that you get the first training, you have a basic understanding, you can use the SDK, you have your own demonstration things for your vertical market, and then you maybe go out to the customers. And in the beginning, then we usually help you to discuss at the customer side. So we're coming with you and help you to close the first or the second one, and then after that you're running at your own. And then the second part is, as soon as you have a commercial product, as a licensing model applies. And we're following whatever you're going to design. So if it's a volume-based something, it's a volume-based something. If it's a one-time shot, then it's a one-time shot. So that there is this licensing model behind that.
So are you looking for little companies or just a few big ones?
Working for yeah?
I mean, you're looking for a lot of little company projects, or are you looking for just one or two big ones?
Oh, no. That's open. I mean, there's no limitation. I mean, littles, bigs, everybody's welcome. No, yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Beth.
Hi.
And I usually ask this kind of question, so I apologize. So I'm really confused.
Okay.
I don't know what you do. What I feel like is that there's a box, and you say, Beth, there's tools in this box. But when I open the box, I don't recognize any of the tools. It's not a hammer, it's not a nail. You're offering me something that I can do something with, but I don't know what to ask for. So you talk about a consulting model. So I think you either you've created these sub-companies, right, subsidiaries that actually go into a certain area and they create a solution. So I think you have this classic kind of challenge. You have some kind of technology, but people don't buy the technology. They buy a platform, which is sort of SAP is a different kind of thing. They did a lot of work to create a certain described thing you could solve a problem with. I think what you're getting from a lot of people in the audience is, wow, there's these possibilities. So we're kind of groping around for trying to find a recognizable tool in the box. I think that's one of the problems. And you guys don't happen to use Lisp, do you? Is the basis of your programming?
Let me answer like this.
Okay.
You hit the pot. You really hit the spot. And to take the risk to confuse you even more, I mean, there's not much in this box.
Well, that's a high margin box if you can sell it, right?
So let it put that way. What we're really selling, it's more a language than anything else.
Okay.
And that's why you have a hard time to identify it. We're selling you the recipe to form the bottle. But I'm not forming the bottle. I'm just giving you the recipe how you will be enabled to do it. So I'm just teaching you how you train an intelligence. And because that's so flexible, there is no shape on it.
Right.
And the box, it's not even a black box because it's an empty black box in a way. And so, and that's really the challenge we have. Absolutely. So you hit the spot.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, Walt.
Hi.
I'm Rich Coleman from Raintree Group. I think this is a question for both the panel and for you. You've talked about the technology. You've talked about the customer. I'd like to know, have you defined who makes the decision within the organization to buy your product? And for the panel, how does he get to the right decision maker? Because from being in the audience, it sounds to me like if you're coming from the bottom up, you're dead meat.
Yes.
You got to go from the top down. Now, what is it going to take to entice the top, and how are you reaching them?
Right. Yes, you're absolutely right. And that's what we train our sales force, go top down. And especially if you go to end users, you have to have the business case. So the reason why you talk to the guy is because we tell him how to make more money or solve a problem which then turns out to make more money or money at all. And so, yeah, we try to go top down, number one, and number two, you need kind of a godfather in there. You need a lobbyist in there because what will happen, you talk to the CEO, you may even know the CEO, so you have a nice meal and he's all excited. But then the challenge starts. Now he will hand it to somebody. And so you need to know who that somebody is, and you have even to guide him to whom he should do it, so that you're sure that the guy which you're ending up is your lobbyist. And then he has to fight for you inside the company.
But that's dictating your model of how you sell your product.
Of course.
And that's the part that I'm not hearing when you did your business presentation.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to use a lot of a shotgun approach, but you just defined it as a rifle.
Yeah. And that's, if you look on the timeline, you know, that's what we started. And what you're saying to me is a confirmation that we are on the right track. Because after we used the shotgun, we use the rifle now. And that's exactly what we are doing.
So to the panel, how does he get to the right group?
See, that's where the question came from. Where it comes down to what the market segment is, right? I mean, the fact is that the different methods of selling are going to change based upon the market segment that's settled upon.
Right. But that's the business proposition.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. A couple more minutes. So I wanted to just get the last couple questions in. Thanks.
Hi, Walt. I'm Vivek Chella.
Hi.
So just to make sure I understand what you guys do correctly, you're a platform, which means you're a solution in search of problems, to some degree.
In what problem? Search
Your
problem?
technology
Just
in
in
search
general
of a
terms.
solution.
Yeah, okay.
It's a
yes.
solution in
Yes.
search of problems, especially in which the panel is discussing.
Right.
The
Right.
trick to getting into various verticals is without the domain expertise, you don't necessarily know what the pain points are, what the problems that you could solve would be. And so if going to all these different verticals is expensive because it takes a lot of different people with experience in those verticals to know what problems they'd want to solve using your using your tool, and so it's a time-consuming process. Right. So my idea is this: have you considered using like mini X Prize type competitions where somehow empower lower-level developers, guys that might be bored, have some creativity, people who are experiencing the pain in some companies that might not get through because of things like price point or whatever. They wouldn't get through the process where somebody from upper management says, hey, here's this new technology solution we want to try, go to work on it. But people can do things on their off time or try to solve the problems if there's a prize to be had. So that was just an idea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good question. What we try to do there is to put them into the R&D science category, because we have a program where somebody as a student, and we may title this single person then as a student, can have access to the technology and try out, and as long as it's not commercially, there is a total different licensing and fee, a program to that. And so yes, we have this kind of an approach. Now the upside on that is you get multiple users and stuff. The downside, you don't get money and you have to support. So at the end of the day, we have to make that in balance. So we have a potential of so many people, playing around with the stuff. We need to have a couple numbers of paying for it, and we have to finishing something with so that we get the revenue stream. So that's what we try to balance.
Hi.
Hi. So it seems to me, I'm a software engineer, that you fundamentally have a toolkit that should appeal to me to solve a problem that I am trying to solve for a customer. So it seems like you actually have two kind of different markets you need to hit. One are people like me who go, that's the toolkit I need, I can make it do what I need it to do. And two is to make people think that your toolkit is cool. And my weird example is actually Intel. Intel went on a campaign and said, everybody needs Intel inside. How many customers actually know whether the chipset they have is from Intel or AMD or why that would matter to them? But customers really bought into that and said, no, Intel's better. I want that tool, even though they had no idea how it impacted the functioning of their computer. And it seems to me for your end users, that's kind of what you need to figure out how to do is we have AI1 inside, and that makes our solution better. So it seems like you almost have two marketing things, one for end users, and then a different one, for folks like me who get the toolkit thing, and we need to learn why that API is out there and available. And for folks like me, I'm wondering, how are you trying to reach us? Are you partnering with the different programming environment companies to say, oh, here's an SDK you can plug into your Java environment or your .NET environment and work with it? How are you reaching out to us?
Well, that's the amazing part. Maybe since about a year, the awareness of we need to have more intelligence in solutions is there. Before that, it was not an issue at all. And so what happens, people like you in a company get the target, do something, find a way how to make that better. And funny enough, they find us. I mean, we're not doing Google Ads or something like that, but they still find us. We have our little tiny website, but we are at present at the professional shows like Semtech and this kind of events here, and we tape everything, so we put it into YouTube and so on. So we're using your social media. I have 168 shareholders, and believe me, those shareholders are all very well connected, because to invest in a company like we are, that's not a normal thing, So you're a little bit crazy and you're a little bit advanced to do that. And so we have a very, very big network. And so it many times happens that somebody rings us and says, I know I have a colleague and he knows somebody and this guy told them that if you have this problem, call them. But that's because we are long in the market now. That's because we have done all this marketing stuff and tried to network us in and all that. And now it slowly starts paying off. So one is they find us, and then on the other side, of course, we try to go to universities and try to spread out and, you know, get people on our channels, and then it's you know, mouth-to-mouth propaganda and everything. So we try to have all the channels possible with a minimal budget, doing everything we can.
Thanks. Okay. So I think we're wrapping up just right on time. So